fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Welcome to the Advanced Ardent Speakers meeting. I'm Janet, your Sergeant at Arms today. Before we begin, let's keep in mind 3 simple courtesies. Please mute your microphone unless it's your turn to speak. If convenient, turn on your camera so we can connect with you more warmly. This meeting is being recorded. If you prefer not to appear on video, you may turn off your camera. Please stay with us to learn and enjoy. Now, let's give a heartfelt round of applause to our President, Distinguished Toastmaster Lai.
Thank you to our Sergeant at Arms, Janet. Let's say hello, everyone. And I'd like to say hello to our guests who are coming in today. We'll start with Arumugam Rajendran, Bruno, Christina Ho, Feta, Jeffrey, Casey, Mariana Taylor, Distinguished Toastmaster Ravindran, Shakira, Thomas, and of course, our members of Ardent Speakers. We know that the power of visual aids are helping enhancing our presentations, even through online, physical, or even hybrid. It has a lot of useful tools to enhance the presentation, make it memorable and easy to remember. I want all the members have the best learning time of opportunities. Now, I would like to invite our Toastmaster for this masterclass, Patsy Wu, for this session. Patsy, I will pass over the session to you now.
Thank you, President Lai. Welcome everyone to this special masterclass. Before starting, let me introduce our timer, Sean, to introduce your timer rule. Sean, please. Thank you.
Okay, today is a very special session. So for the speaker, they have the very powerful time to control the timer. So just remember, look at the left hand zoom. That is my time flag. Please pay attention to this. And thank you for everyone. Back to the Patsy.
Thank you, Sean, our Vice President of Membership. Today, our member will learn something very special about power of visual aids. It's more than this. Visual aids is more than we to know. The speaker, he is more than an award-winning speaker. He's a mentor, a coach, and an author. 3 times World Championship of Public Speaking finalist, 2020, 2022, and 2024. He's a TEDx speaker and a holder of master degrees in both fine arts and educational administration. He has spent over 3 decades helping others find their voice. Today, we're proud to say he's one of us. Advanced #Ardent Speaker. Let's put our hand together. Welcome our speaker, Distinguished Toastmaster Fursey Gotuaco.
Hello, hello, hello. How are we doing today? Yeah. Let's talk about visual aids. What's a visual aid? Oh, there you go. There you go. You see what she did there? She did like that. So what does that really mean though? Yeah, what we see and what you want your audience to see. What you want your audience to focus on. Because both this and when Patsy brought her glasses up and down, both of those are things that help us see better. Does that make sense? To help us see better. And so the question that we always have to ask ourselves with visual aids is, does it help you see better? Are your choices helping your audience to see better? Kind of like when you go to the eye doctor. optometrist. Remember they put the big machine on you and is like, is this better or is that better? Is that better? Is this better? Is this better? Is that better? And after a while, you're just like, I just feel confused, you know? So how do you make sure that your audience sees better? Take, for example, this slide. This is basically a screenshot of our meeting. What does the audience see? You know, it's kind of all over the place. Our audience sees some things that are open, some cameras that are open, and some cameras that are closed. And half the cameras that are open all have the same background, right? About half. Half of them all have the same background. Now, here's the question. What does that do? What does that do to an audience when they see all the backgrounds the same?
Consistency.
Consistency. Okay, good. What else?
They blend
Uniform.
in and you become obscure.
Say that again, please, Robin.
They blend in and you become obscure.
They blend in and you become obscure. Yes.
Or it can show unity.
Can show unity. These are the things that you have to wonder. You have to balance it. If everyone looks the same, it starts to create a sense of camouflage. It creates, okay, we're all on the same page. Here's my wonderment. What is it we're trying to show? What kind of unity are we trying to show? So reverse it and not just say, okay, what do we interpret from what we see, but rather what is it that we want the audience to see? And if we want to create an image of unity, then we all have the same background. But if you want somebody to stand out, then you have a different background. That contrast is part of what helps our audience to see better. And that's the whole purpose of visual aids. Can I see it better? Can I understand it better? And to do that, you have to know what your options are. Take, for example, this. What is that?
Measuring
Measuring tape.
roll.
Absolutely. What can you see on the measuring tape clearly?
Well, it's 5 meter long.
That you see the wording on it, right, Mariana? Absolutely. You can actually see the wording 5 meters long. Anything else?
Branding,
Branding.
Chinese letter.
Yeah.
Good. Branding. Excellent. Excellent, Patsy. What else?
And it's yellow, easy to find.
Absolutely. Yellow, easy to find. How about the background? Can you distinguish it from the background?
Yes.
Good. Good.
My eyesight is
see-
not
can
very
you-
good, but I can see.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you said it. Can you see the numbers on the measuring tape?
Not
No.
exactly. Not clear.
No, you can't at all. Zero. Can you see the hook on which it hooks onto?
Yes.
Yes. Can you see the hand holding it?
Of course.
That's part of it, right? That's part of it. So when we're talking about visual aids, we have to take into account all of that. Because your visual aid is either going to support your point or it's going to distract from your point. The last thing you want is for everybody to get completely distracted. So you have a choice. If you want to talk about measuring tapes, you can either do that or you can do this. consider for yourself what's the best way to make your point. And there's no one right answer. What today is going to be about is understanding all the variables and that there are choices you can make. There are choices you can make, and you should not just fall into a regular pattern, because the presentation that you're trying to make might be better served in a different way. Sometimes it's better to have pictures. Sometimes it's better to have an object. You have to choose. You have to explore. You have to see. And even when you have this object, watch what happens when I move myself out of the picture. What then happens to your focus? This versus this. I'm going to ask you a very silly question. Where is your eye focus? Where does your eye look?
Yellow thing.
Good. Absolutely. Absolutely. I have to ask you that silly and obvious question so that I can ask this question. Now, where does your eye look?
Your face.
On your beautiful face.
Why, thank you. Good answer. Do you see what happens? I know when I ask you this question, you're all thinking, that's the dumbest question in the world. Where do you think our eye is going? Now, where's your eye going? Now, watch this. Ready? Where's your eye going now?
The object,
yellow
of
thing.
course.
The measurement tape.
Let's watch that again. Let's watch that again, okay? Where's your eye going here? Right, Lai? And slowly, where does your eye go now?
Can be both, you know.
What's the measuring?
The tip of the tape.
Yeah, looking at it.
Following your eye movement.
Yes. When you're talking about visual aids, it is so important to understand the purpose of our eyes, the usage of our eyes in part of that presentation. Nobody thinks about it. But in theater, it's critical. Because when you have a stage with 10 people on it, the audience does not know where to look. When you have a stage of 10 people or 20 people, the audience does not know where to look. It's like this. The audience does not know where to look. Why aren't, at weddings, gentlemen, you should just sit back and drink some coffee, because there's nothing you need to know in the next 30 seconds. Ladies, at weddings, what color can bridesmaids wear? It's a trick question.
Anything except white.
Yes! Yes! Lai, could you make a note? Tanisa gets a free bowl of soup for getting that right. So,
No problem.
yes, I want that soup. Anything but white. Why? Why, Mariana? Why is it anything but white?
That's usually the bride's color, right?
Exactly. So what if it's the bride's color?
We want that to stand out.
Yes! Yes! It's not a matter of, oh, she's wearing white, therefore I can't wear white. It's that she's wearing white and we want her to stand out. Amongst 100 people at this whole bloody ceremony, she needs to stand out. Everybody else just needs to shorten themselves. Don't even thinking about wearing heels. I'm talking to you, Feta. No. So visual aids. What do we want our audience to see better? What do we want our audience to see without straining. It stands out. It helps to make our point clear. Does everyone kind of see the principle? I know it feels like it's kind of obvious, and yet, listen, we see these mistakes all the time. We see these mistakes all the time because we're not understanding what's important. I am wearing a white shirt, and I purposely wore a white shirt for this demonstration. Can you see my pen clearly now? Or, like an optometrist, what's better? Now, picture A, or picture B?
Picture B.
Picture
B.
Yeah. Why?
Because
Contrast.
Yes. You see the orange part of the pen, yes? To be very specific, Tanisa, the pen is in front of my shirt. Right, Patsy? The pen is in front of my shirt. Now, Catherine, here's where you're going, I don't understand why Fursey is labeled Captain of the Obvious. Because watch what happens when the pen is not in front of my shirt. Oh! Does that make sense? That quickly. Your object goes from halfway invisible, this part is visible, this part is visible, this part is invisible, camouflage, to, okay, now the whole thing is better. And if I adjust my lighting, the whole thing is even more easily seen. Okay, what did you just pick up from all of that? Because Fursey was just like standing there with a pen saying obvious things like, the pen is in front of my shirt. Sean's going, what are we going to do? Put that on a fortune cookie? What is this? Yeah? So tell me what we've just learned, talking about measuring tape, talking about pen, talking about Fursey's white shirt, talking about our backgrounds. Put that all together for me.
Bring visibility to what you want to focus on, or what you want the audience to be focused on.
Good. What you want your audience to focus on, both visually and mentally, right? Where do you want their mind thinking? Because they can look at many things. Right, Robin? They can look at many things at home. At home, when we're online, there's so many things to look at and to think about. Our job is to use visual aids to not only make them visually focus on something, but then mentally you focus on that something. Because they could look at other things. This comes down to one of my most important principles. The audience does not have to pay attention to you. The audience does not have to pay attention to you. Free will, baby. Free will. They can do anything they want. They could look down at their keyboard. They could be writing notes, so they're kind of paying attention, but they're also writing notes, and those are two different acts. They could be taking care of their pet. They could be working on their calendar. They could be doing their nails for all we know. I mean, you've got folks, Minpo, Jeffrey Tate, Teresa, Vicky, Thomas. Yeah, they're behind the camera. We don't know. They're probably at work. They're at work. They're doing something else. So where are they mentally, and how can we use visual aids to raise that number? I'm not here to beat anybody up. What I'm talking about is your mindset. As a presenter, what is your mindset? And if your mindset is, well, I'm just going to go ahead and throw it out there and let them be. No, 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 no. That's like guys bringing potato chips to a party. Yeah, I just opened up a bag of chips and let it be. And then your wives look over at you going, can't do that. You have to bring the chips, and then you have to bring a nice bowl, and then you have to put the chips in the bowl, and then you have to move the bowl in a certain part of the table, and then you have to get some napkins so that we can wipe our finger. And the guy's like, why can't we just put the chips on the table? They'll open it up, you know. So it's all of these things. As presenters, we focus our audience's eyes and we focus our audience's mind. Okay, I'm going to try to keep moving along here. I just wanted to get the principles down. Otherwise, if you miss the principles, then you have a hard time applying what I'm talking about to your next presentation. So we're talking about focus, we're talking about contrast. One of the groups that I'm working with lately are entrepreneurs. They are making a presentation. They have 2 minutes. Look at that. I held up my hand just to make sure you understood what the number 2 was. It's one of the worst things we do as a presenter. I'm guilty of it too. Right, Tanisa? 2 minutes. Tanisa's like, Fursey, you don't think I understood the number 2? You had to do this to make sure I understood 2? What I'm trying to say is only 2. This is a visual aid. I caught you, didn't I? I caught you, didn't I? You didn't think that was going to be something to learn, did you? This is a visual aid. When you hold up your fingers, not that finger, Robin. We all knew what happened last time when you held up the wrong finger. When we hold up our fingers, it focuses our audience. It reinforces it. So if you want to say, I have 2 points, you can do that. And you're accurate. You're totally accurate, Bruno. I have 2 points. My audience knows I have 2 points. My question is that the most important thing you have to say? That you have 2 points? Or are you trying to say, I only got 2 points, so focus up? Right? That's really what you're trying to say. Not that I have 2 points, but that I need you to focus for 2 points. It'll be fast, but I need you to dial in. Oh, do you see the difference there? Do you see the difference in how that works? I've got 5 points, so you better write all these down. It's not that there were 5. It's that I don't think you can stay focused for 5 points, or you're going to need to write these down for 5 points. So that's why we can use our hands to reinforce that. Otherwise, if you have 2 points, I have 2 points for how to keep your marriage from falling apart. Now let's think about what Fursey just said there, Robin. I have 2 points to keep your marriage from falling apart. In that whole sentence, what's the most important few words there? Is it 2 points?
That's what came across to me. 2 points. Not more or less.
I have
Marriage.
2 points to keep your marriage from falling apart.
Marriage falling apart, absolutely.
Yeah, I gotta disagree with you there, Robin. It's gotta be about the marriage falling apart. So therefore, I wouldn't necessarily do this. I have 2 points to keep your marriage from falling apart. Compare that to this. I have 2 points to keep your marriage from falling apart. Now this becomes my primary. Because I'm more concerned about your marriage than I am the fact that I have 2 points. Make sense? So make sure to go back to your other clubs and tell those beginning speakers, because beginning speakers are the ones that really love to make this mistake. Try to get them to understand the use of gesture, which is a visual aid, I have 2 points to help you keep your marriage from falling apart. What is this gesture? What is this gesture that I'm doing?
Please listen. It's very important.
Yeah. Yeah, concern. Yeah. Does this make sense? Visual aid. How do you show something visually to make sure that your audience is focused where it needs to be? When I'm working with accelerators, when I'm working with entrepreneurs, they have just 2 minutes, right? Not 2 minutes, just 2 minutes. That amount of time. That amount of time. They just have 2 minutes to change their lives. They're making their message, they're sending it out to investors, potential investors, 2 minutes to hopefully get an investment of $1 million or $2 million. Life-changing. Where do you want your audience to focus? Here are some slides that I took from them. How do we use our slides, our visual aids? And right now I'm using Prezi Video, which I'll talk about in just a moment. Take a look at this. Where does your eye go? How does your eye move? In what direction does your eye move?
Left to right.
Yep. For most of us, it's left to right. Most of us read and write with that Western culture left to right. Some cultures do not. We understand this, yes? Some cultures read right to left. Some cultures read top to bottom. Most of us read left to right. It's important to understand in what direction your audience reads and in what direction do you want them to see the visuals on your slides. So in this case, there are arrows. Yeah? There are arrows pointing our eyes where to look. Look at the very top. At the very top, in the top left-hand corner, this person has it, how it works. Yes, Catherine Paul, absolutely. How it works. Now, here's the interesting thing. When I'm working with presenters, they tend to go, how it works! And then there's the little bitty stuff. And I say, is how it works really the most important thing on the slide? No. The content is more important than the label. And you have to understand that. Because we are used to writing. We are used to creating a document. And headers, right? We have headers. That header is huge to get our attention. Our headers are huge to get our attention because people are looking at all of that. And we want them to focus in on Mariana. But in something like this, we don't necessarily want them to focus on the header because there's already a natural built-in header. It's the fact that there's only one slide on the screen. Does that make sense? In a header, it's like huge to get your attention. Like, who remembers newspapers? Who remembers? We're all of a certain age. We all remember newspapers, right, Patricia? Yep. In a newspaper, there's all this area. Our eyes could go anywhere. So there's a nice big headline. And it's meant to attract people to buy the newspaper. That's why newspapers, there's a difference between above the fold and below the fold. Because the newspaper is folded in half and then lays out there to get your attention to try to buy it. Like a headline, right? There you go, Patricia. Yeah, perfect. Perfect example. Our headers on our slides don't need to be huge. because you already have only one slide up there. So you don't need a huge header. What you need are bigger pictures so we understand what you're trying to say. Take a look at the color of the font. Built for events and business development. Different colors. Which one stands out to you more? Built for events and or business development? The blue. Catherine, yes, the blue. Absolutely. The blue built for events, or black as it might appear on your screen, stands out more than business development. Use of color. Use of size of font, use of color. Take a look at this. Now, this is another trick question. These are not going to be easy ones. This particular company, they partner with many brands, and look at the size of the picture of the brands, the branding. Look at the size of the branding. This is pretty good. These slides, these are done by, they've already gone through some revision. I've helped some of them with their revision because their branding, the little brands, the partner brands, were little bitty, little bitty, little bitty, little bitty. I can't see that, especially when, how long was the presentation, Mariana? How long do I have to present for investors?
2 minutes.
2 minutes! How in the world do I expect someone to read all of that and listen to me at the same time? You can't. Be reasonable. You can't. So you can't put so many words on a slide that totally distracts your reader, and you need to make things big so that it's easier to see. Using it at this size helps your readers, your audience, to see things very quickly. When I'm working with founders, they have a team slide. These are the people on my team. Whose face do you look at?
The middle one, because she's smiling.
Okay. The girl, the middle one. Is it because she's smiling?
No, she has 100K.
She has 100K. Brighter. Most of it, everybody's got a piece of the correct answer. Everybody has a piece of the correct answer. But most of it is because she's in the center. Center gets the focus. And if you look at size of the face, her face is bigger. Her face is bigger than the gentleman on your left, Benjamin.
Although
He put himself first. He put himself first. That's fine. But the percentage of the circle that's covered by her face is greater than the percentage of his circle. And she's in the center. And there's blonde hair. So it's bright. It's bright. Is it intentional? No, I think it was a total accident. Here's the other thing. Look at the gentleman on the right. Random picture is my guess. Totally random picture. Oh, blurry, Catherine Paul says. Yeah. And he's looking down and away. We're not looking at that at all. We want to see your face. And if the face is doing this, remember this example? Remember this example? There's this. There's this. There's two. And then there's three. They've got a picture on there that doesn't bring us anything. We only see part of his face. It's kind of hidden. It might be a little dramatic. It probably looks good on TikTok. Not good for a slide to earn $1 million. not just focusing the eyes of your audience, but also focusing the mind of your audience. Not just the eyes, the mind. Where do I want their brain thinking? Because I am competing against this. Right? You're not just competing against each other. You're not competing against time. Sometimes you're competing against time. I lost. It was just 3 seconds, but I still lost against time. But the idea is you're competing against this. Everybody's got one. So you have to fight against all those interesting things, and this is one of the best things you got. Here's a slide. Here's a PowerPoint. This is me trying to use a PowerPoint. Now, on Prezi Video, I can do this. Compare that to, excuse me, trying to get everything together. Too many windows open. Sorry, too many windows open. Compare that to this. And this is what most of us have, right? This is what most people do. They are sharing screen. Could I share screen? Could I share my screen? Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Okay, do you see it now? You've just lost prime territory. You've lost all your potential for knocking your audience out of the park with a great presentation by falling into mediocrity. Now, I'm trying to think about, I meant to have my phone on. What percentage of your screen is my face?
Your face is not
100%?
on the screen.
0. Can see it.
You can't see my face at all.
No.
Yep.
No, I can see too.
Okay. Make sense? Audience can't see me at all. If you change up certain things, you might see a little part of me. But essentially, you don't see much. So you're looking at my screen. You're looking at my screen and of the presentation I made here at Ardent Speakers. When you, I beg your pardon. Oh my gosh, Fursey, you moron, you totally botched the demonstration. One moment, let's do that again. Too many screens open. My apologies.
No worries, Fursey. Understand.
I need to, where are you?
You need a Zoom master to help you.
No. I need another monitor. I need another monitor so I can have double things because it's too small.
Screen.
Now. Okay, now you see my face, right?
Now we can see you. Yes.
What percentage of your screen, what percentage of your screen is my face on?
Just a small.
Maybe, I'm not even sure it's 10%, right? You can adjust it. You can adjust it to where I'm maybe 50%. If you put me on speaker view and then adjust it, you can get 50% of my face. The other 20% is my head. No, just kidding. So you can get 50% of my face, 50% on your shared screen. Many of you probably have me at even 10% or less, 5%. It's a floating head, right? All you see is a floating head, and then maybe 50% of your screen is the PowerPoint. So you have to decide how much of your face you want visible and when. How much of your face do you want visible and when? When do you want the audience to look at you, and when do you want the audience to look at your PowerPoint? Am I pointing at the right direction on your screen for the PowerPoint?
No.
Nope.
That way?
Yep.
Mhm.
If this were really important to me, I was going to do what I was going to do earlier. I was going to set up my phone as a second person so that I could actually watch what you were seeing. On contest day, when I was online, I did that. For another contest, not Toastmasters, and I needed to make sure that they could see the president, I did that. Just to make sure. I simply ran out of time today. But best practices, have a second screen so you know exactly what you look like to your audience. Then you don't have to ask yourself, can you see this? Can you see that? I would have discovered my mistake a long time ago had I done that. So naughty. Bad presenter, Fursey. But hopefully it's still something you can learn from. The usefulness of Prezi Video is that it's easier to control, so that I can show you what I need quickly and pull it away very quickly. And I can pull it away to where it's 0% or even 50%. Kind of like when you order some drinks at the mall, a slushie or an iced tea, coffee, you want 100% sugar or 50% sugar or 0 sugar, depending on whether your face is the sugar or the presentation is the sugar. Prezi Video allows for that quick change. Here's how to use Prezi Video. You can follow me, and you can also try it on your own screen. But I will say that on your own Zoom, it's not 100%. You get the free version, not the paid version, and there's some slight differences. In the free version, it doesn't quite feel as smooth, and it doesn't have as much potential. In the paid version, I'll show you just so then you can decide. In the paid version, you start with a PowerPoint. I take the basic PowerPoint. I then open up my Prezi Video app. Looks just like that. That's the Prezi Video app. You can drop pictures right onto that cross, or you can click the top and select the PowerPoint, the picture, the video that you want to show. Here's a picture of that. This is what it looks like. So on the right-hand side, do you see the button on the top right-hand side that says Import? That's all you have to do. You click Import, you select the PowerPoint you want, and then you say Submit, and it immediately shows up. One extra step is that you should save it with a name, right? But that's it. It's so simple. It's so simple. I knew this is what Patricia Yap wanted me to focus on. I'm like, Patricia, that's going to take all of about 30 seconds. It'll take me 30 seconds to explain Prezi, because I'm not a tech person. I'm very tech challenged. Very. Sometimes Control Alt Delete confuses me. Is it Control? Is it Alt? Or is it Delete? So if I can do it, then everybody has a standing chance of doing it, and doing it very easily. Prezi Video, P-R-E-Z-I, P-R-E-Z-I. Now here's how you find it. Take a look at the bottom of your screen, the 3 dots. Would you go to the bottom of your screen, 3 dots? Hit the 3 dots. Is there anybody who has not been able to find 3 dots? Everybody good so far? 3 dots. I'm trying to find, I had a visual aid for this and I forgot to transfer it over. When you open up the 3 dots, you now have an option.
Apps. Find the
For apps, yes, apps, absolutely.
and search
Go to the apps, find that one.
Prezi Video for video. Zooms.
Yep. If you open it, it will look something similar to what I showed you a second ago. It will look something similar. Yours is slightly different, but it'll look something similar to that. And you simply drop in your slide. Here's the last thing I'm going to talk about, because I am on red. Remember when we were talking about this guy? And I told you about this? Same thing for your slides. The beautiful thing about that I enjoy about Prezi Video is that I can do this full screen or this. Remember, 50% sugar, 50% sweet, right? Especially you, Patsy Wu. You don't need to be getting tea that's sweet. You're sweet enough as you are. Okay, so here's the thing. You can do this. Now watch my eyes. Watch my eyes. Ready? Here we go, Catherine Paul. It's just like the measuring tape. Look at me. Look at my slides. Look at me. Look at my slides. It's a beautiful thing, isn't it? You can do that. So when I first put on my slides, and there are a lot of words, I can simply stop, show you my slides, take a drink. As you can see, I use both the blue and the color orange as part of my branding in these slides. You see what I'm saying? You see what I did there? I can use that time, let my audience absorb everything that's there, focus on that, because I don't need them to look at me while I'm getting a drink of water. I can look so casual. I can look so confident because I'm drinking while I'm presenting. It's like, okay, you're writing anyway. You don't need to look at me. Or I can make a lot of fun and comedy. So have fun with it. Have fun with your visual aids. Make sure you're focusing your audience's eyes and make sure you're focusing your audience's mind. Make sure their mind is where it needs to be. Make sure it's big enough that they can see it and experience it to pull them away from all the other important things that are going on in their life. I know there's a lot of things going on in their life. Your job is to make it so interesting that they're willing to set aside whatever it is they're doing and then focus on you because you made it so cool with your visual aids. Back to you. Toastmaster of the day.
Fursey. Yes, Fursey. It was wonderful for you to share those amazing, crazy video. And also, thank you very much for sharing your tips of engaging our audience virtually and mentally. Now, let's jump into our Q&A. Welcome, distinguished Toastmaster Patricia.
Yes, huge round of applause to Fursey. Thank you so much for letting us know really the power of visual aids. I bet a lot of us do have questions now. So we are going to go through this question Q&A time. And on the top of my list, I know some of you are very, I would say, savvy and comfortable using visual aids. So any questions at this moment? Perhaps we ask Mariana to kickstart first. Yeah, go ahead, Mariana.
Thank you. One of the reasons I love PowerPoint, and I would love to use Prezi. I tried it, but I think it slows down my internet because I have to use two programs. Is that true, or I had a different issue?
I think there's a different issue. I'm not an expert on that, but I've seen no slowdown to it when I use Prezi.
Okay, so it's not because I used and that was a nightmare. I had way too much lagging.
I think that's a bigger program. I think there's a lot more going on.
Yeah.
There.
I tried Prezi, but I guess I tried the free version and it wasn't as handy.
I think that's closer to the truth.
I might give it a try because I love the way you handle your slides.
When you need an extra piece of advice, just let me know, Mariana, when you've got it, and I'll be glad to help you out with that.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mariana. Yes, Fatah, go ahead.
Okay, very, very quickly. First of all, thank you, Fursey, because I have a paid version. I had no idea about Fursey, but now I'm going to start looking into it. So that's a good takeaway. Secondly, I would like to wish my friend and guest Elias happy birthday. I'm glad that he put the the poster I put for him. So Elias, happy birthday to you. Right, now here's my question to Fursey, although I know the answer, but I would like to hear it from the horse's mouth. Visual aids appeal to audience's eyes, while story appeals to their imagination. If you had to choose between a powerful story with no visual aids and an average content supported by outstanding visual aids, which one would you choose and why? As I said, I know the answer.
What do you think the answer is?
Oh, absolutely. Powerful story. No doubt about it.
Yeah, I'll speak it, and I trust myself more than I trust the picture. But I think you want to use both. And one of the great things about Prezi Video is that you can put a picture up there or you can throw a video up there. So when I'm teaching a class or even giving feedback, and Patsy, I'm trying to see who else is part of the classes that I'm in, where we study video. I have a class and all we do is we study video. And Prezi Video allows me to manipulate the video so much easier than, let me pull this video off of YouTube, let me share screen. It was so difficult. And we can do so much better. We can learn so much more from a video by inching it, right, Patsy? I mean, they kind of want to punch me sometimes because I'm sitting there going, look at her hand. No, look at her hand. Do you see how her hand moves? And I'm rewinding it. But that's where we can learn so much. And so we study videos of people's speeches rather than live because it can give us more. And Prezi Video can allow us to do that with expert. Listen, I look a lot better than I really am because of Prezi Video. I'll just say that right now.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thanks, Feta. It's a great question.
Yeah. Thanks, Feda. For some of you folks, if you like to ask questions, I invite you to turn on your video as well. So, Ravin, have you got a question as well? Because I know you're big at, doing presentation and all that. But I seldom see you using any slides, though, so I just want to challenge you.
Yeah, the reason why I don't use slides is I'm already good at it. So why say to polish some more? That I want to polish my voice and presentation. So that's why I use less slides. But anyway, the other thing is for a 5 to 7 minute speech, typically in Toastmasters, I don't think we need slides. So having addressed that, firstly, you did mention that sometimes don't do the obvious, but I have 2 points, right? That's a good point. But here's my argument. We know some people are auditory, some people are kinesthetic, some people are visual. So when we speak, we are speaking to the people who are predominantly auditory. My argument, this addresses the visual people. How would you take that, sir?
I think you misunderstand me. You can use this, but it's not about 2 points. It's about a short period of time. It's about very quickly. It's about 1 and then 2 as a follow-up. I don't want you to use your fingers and the only message is to count. I want you to use your fingers. I want you to use your hands because they are our primary visual aid. Our hands, and those of you who've seen my gesture workshop, my hands are my visual aid. My face is my visual aid, my head. So the whole first half, when you watch the recording, the whole first half of what I'm talking about is using your eyes and your hands as your visual aid. My hands are my visual aid, absolutely. I just don't think this, to show people 2 points, is a good use of our fingers. I think this, I just have 2 points, just very quickly. I have 2 points. Right?
Amazing.
Rather than this, I can do this. I just have 2 points. You understand how important this is to me. I just have 2 points. Is that okay? Okay. Yeah.
Thank you, Fursey. I appreciate the clarification.
You bet. Thanks, Robin.
Great. We're going to have one more question, but before that, let me just jump in. Fursey, regarding keynote speech, I'd like to hear your best recommendation for a keynote lab. Toastmasters 18 and 22. Is it always great to use some kind of a slides or depending on the topic? How does that work? Thank you.
I think everybody has to know that a keynote speech is not just longer. It takes its toll on you. If you're going on a flight and you're going on a 2-hour flight, that's one thing. You go on a 12-hour flight. It's not just that it's longer, it takes a toll on you. Your body changes, your brain changes. Same thing with an audience in a keynote speech. You're talking about ideas that they have to hold in their mind for 20 minutes. It is difficult for an audience to take an idea, one idea, hold it in their mind, add more to it, hold it in their mind, add more to it, hold it in their mind, add more to it, build to a conclusion, and remember that one point all the way through while doing all of that, right? The brain is like going, ah! That's why after a good keynote or after a workshop, your brain is tired because it's been trying to absorb it. And so to Robin's point, where is the visual in addition to the auditory? And where are the pictures? I'm coaching this guy the other day. I'm coaching this startup. And he had so many words. You choose how many words, and I'm telling you he had more than that. Finally, I said, I want you to try reading all of that. And he's like, reading. He goes, I know what it says. I go, yeah, read it. I want you to read it. And he wouldn't read it. I went, I will read it for you. As a coach, I kind of had to be a bad guy. I'm going to read it. And I started the clock on my phone and I timed it. And as I'm reading, I even missed some words. I'm reading kind of fast. I'm not making sense. I'm reading like this. Reading. 1.5 minutes later, I finished. It took me 1.5 minutes to read all the words on his slide, and that was without making any sense. So if I made sense and I pause, it's going to be slower. So we're looking at 1 minute and 45 seconds, and he had over 10 slides with that many words. What have you done? So understand that part of what we do with visual aids is to create a picture, an image that helps our audience understand. Everybody remembers the old adage, a picture is worth 1,000 words? Use it. Use a picture. It'll get across everything you want. And now with AI, man, you can generate that picture in a heartbeat, right? Claude, you can use audio. Claude, please give me a picture of Patsy Wu standing on her head and Mariana Burka standing on top of Patsy Wu's feet. It'll create it. It'll create it using the pictures I have of Patsy Wu and Mariana Burka because I'm a stalker. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Sort of.
Awesome. Thank you. We are going to open the floor. We're going to extend a little bit. Hope it's okay. If you have to leave, please let us know as well. So one final question. Anybody want to take this golden opportunity? Because the stuff we have here today is so valuable. And Fursey, you are certainly a subject expert too. Yes. Yes, Janet, go ahead.
Is there a difference to present online versus the stage? Because what you are sharing is very much related to visual aids online.
It's about 50-50, Janet. That's a terrific question. If you have visual aids in person, you want to make sure that it can be seen from far away. Doing this in person, a little bit tougher. Still usable, but a little bit tougher. And you definitely have to know what your surrounding is. Is it a white screen, black screen? Where are the walls? I like to use pictures. And so if you know you're going to have a PowerPoint, it's got to be big. When I did the keynote in the Philippines, I realized their space was so wide. They had over 500 people there, only 3 tables deep. That means it's 21 tables wide. There were 52 tables, 3 tables deep. The rest was wide. 21. So I had to talk with the audio tech guys. And I said, when I cue you, I want all 3 slides on my face. When I cue you, I want all 3 slides on my slides. all three projector screens on my slide. And so you have to make that difference. Additionally, I wanted to make sure I had proximity. So I actually got off the stage. As many of you know, I will get off the stage, and I previously set up a chair. I stood up on a chair at that end. I stood up on a chair at that end to make sure that they were with me, that they were connecting, that I'm bigger than life. You're part of the visual aid. Yeah. So I think, Janet, this is what you're asking about. When you are presenting live, how do you use those visuals? You have to direct your audience's attention, That clicker that you have to know it so well. And don't be scared to go back. Don't be scared to go back in your slides. Remember how I kept going back in my slides? You can do that live, or you can build it in. So it returns to your first slide, but all you're doing is moving forward. Yeah, Janet? It's a great question. Thank you so much for that question. Yeah, do not be afraid to break the rules to make sure your audience gets exactly what they need.
Thank you.
Yay! We have now permission online. Stand on the chair, please. Okay? I love that. Robin, have you got a question? Because I thought you had.
This is not a question, but just a sharing, which I think Fursey also will may have something to chip in. Much of what Fursey shared today in terms of design and all those things is also applicable to Canva. I've seen a lot of Canva posters being developed, which they don't fit in with these cardinal rules that Fursey shared. Like, for example, drawing attention to what is important, creating the contrast, less is more, and that kind of concepts. I think Fursey, myself, and quite a few of us here are on this group known as Toasties, where we essentially are onto Canva design, also aided by AI, and these principles we try to bring in. So that's what I like to share. Thank you, Fursey.
Thank you. Thank you. That marks the end of our Q&A. We are a little over time, but we still certainly want to acknowledge Fursey and certainly take a family photo. So I'd like to ask if Janet, you are ready with the slides. And everybody, if you are convenient, we do encourage you to turn on your video. Yes, and certainly drop your comment, your feedback to Fursey, because today's session, if I were to pay Fursey, it's going to be a professional fee, and you guys are getting free of charge, right? So apply and go all out there and try it out. Great. Janet, over to you. You're going to take control over the slides presentation.
Okay.
Thank you, Fursey. Yeah.
So we will have the photo taken with our speaker.
Yes. Who is taking the photo now?
Okay, I take the photo. Please keep still. 1, 2, 3. Okay, got it. Next.
Thank you.
Next, we will call upon the role players.
Oh, wait a moment.
We will have the Toastmaster of the Day, Patsy, FAQ Master, Patricia, Timer, Shan, and myself as Zoom Master. And most important, to remember Masterclass speaker, Fursey.
Yes. Wait a moment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, look here. Kiss smile. 1, 2, 3. Okay, got it.
Thank you.
Yay! Fursey is making all of us not only hungry for knowledge, but hungry for the tummy as well. So now we are going to take the family photo. I'd like to have all of you challenge you. Give us a facial expression that really shows your excitement, and certainly use your face as the virtual aid, a visual aid, sorry. Is it visual aid? Yeah, visual aid, okay? I want to challenge you to do something out of the box so that you're comfortable being uncomfortable. All right. Everyone, if you can, please turn on your video.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Wonderful. Another one, another
Yes,
pose.
change
Yeah.
pose with the
1, 2, 3. Okay, got it.
Thank you so much. With this, that marks the end of our master class. Thank you for all of you for being here. But before that, I'm sure some of you want to tell Fursey with your own voice some of the gratitudes that you have. So do turn on your video. We'll have JC Satio. Would you like to say a few words? Joe Satia. Did I say your name correctly? Go ahead.
No. Hi. Hi all. Sorry, I was a bit I came in late. I read the wrong time.
That's okay. We are happy to have you. At least you're on our family forum. Yes. Your
Was
words
1
to
hour late.
Fursey?
So
Yeah.
thank you so much for sharing, Percy. See you.
Thank you. Good. David Tan.
Thank you, Fursey, for your sharing. Now, being confident using visual aids to enhance my own speech. Thank you.
Try it out. Good. Everybody, if you'd like to unmute yourself, good. Catherine, I know you certainly have some words for Fursey. Area director.
So much, Fursey. But I've always wondered how some speakers do that. So now I've got the answer. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I will definitely try it during an online meeting.
Yeah. Proceed. Good. Bruno, would you like to say a few words?
Certainly. Thank you, madam. It's a great pleasure once again. Probably, how many times have I seen Fuzzy? I can't count with my hands, and it's always a great experience to watch you. I started to read the book, and I'm very excited. Thank you, Fuzzy.
Yes.
Thanks, Bruno.
Woohoo! Good. Robin, did you want to say Mariana first, then followed by Robin?
Definitely. Thank you very much. I'm glad I stayed awake.
Yeah.
And it was very motivational. And I think I will go back to Prezi, give it one more try. And I might scream, and you're going to hear my scream wherever you are, because if I have an issue, I will scream loud.
Yay.
Thank you for that.
Good. Thank you. Patsy? Yes.
I just want to say thank you very much for sharing that tips, especially that crazy video thing. I've been thinking for a long time until today. Thank you.
Yeah, me too. Just so scared. But yeah, thank you so much for making it so effortless and easy. Robin?
Yes, firstly, each time I attend your workshop, you leave me in awe. And I go back wondering, is there any subject this guy can't deliver and can't deliver well? Everything from speaking to table topics to evaluations and today visual aids. The list goes on, and you come up with flying colors. I'm waiting for the next. Meanwhile, thanks for the homework you gave me. Prezi video.
Thanks, Robin.
Woohoo! Shan, would you like to say a few words? Shan from Taipei. We won't keep you any longer.
Okay. Thank you, Fursey. Actually, it's very mature performance. But I have one question. You just said virtual ads, but I want to know what kind of in virtual ads. That is about the sound, about the voice, about the something. Maybe in your mind you have some answer for me. Thank you.
I'm not sure I understand the question.
Okay.
Could you rephrase, please?
Okay. And in your copy, you said the power of virtual ads. I want to know what kind is in virtual ads in your mind.
Can you type it in the chat? The power of virtual...
Visual aids, right?
Visual aids.
Sorry.
I beg your pardon.
Visual ads, about what kind of in visual ad?
The
Yes.
definition of visual aids, is it, Sean?
Yes, I want to know what kind of something you in your mind that is in visual aid.
It has to help you. It is an aid. It is not a replacement. It should not replace you. It should support what you're doing, whatever it is. And that means it's not necessarily a picture of your object. It might be something else. Sales and marketing do this all the time. You know, they're selling you Coca-Cola. They're selling you beer. But do they always have just a picture of the beer or the Coca-Cola? No, they have a picture of a beautiful woman. Visual aid. Want to date that beautiful woman? Buy our beer. Does it really make sense? No. And yet they do it all the time for billions of dollars. So your visual aid, we should consider, where do you want your audience's mind to be? And focus on that. Numbers. I saw people use numbers. Like there's like 50, 60 different numbers. Like they basically took their spreadsheet from their computer. They took their spreadsheet and they copy pasted the whole thing on their slide. And they want people to see it and understand the numbers the way I do. I'm like, are you nuts? And they would circle it in red even. Look, here's the number. That doesn't help me understand the number. Seeing the number in context of all the numbers doesn't help me. Outlining it in red doesn't help me. That's why you have pie charts. That's why you have bar graphs. Right? Those are pictures. They take numbers, turn it into a visual aid, and then your job then is to tell a story that puts those numbers into context. Does this make sense?
Yes, thank you very much.
Good. Now I just found out, Fursey, you just inspired me another great way to improve my usage of visual aids, which is using the Facebook. You know, we have stories and all that. That's when we can cut and paste and see if we can increase some engagement. Thank you. Yeah, that one we can practice. Yeah. Thank you.
You know, here's one way that I use numbers to and a story to tell. Like, you know, many of us are part of Smedley Chapter 1 Advanced, and I tell people, you know, it's nice in Toastmasters because you can be in a club with somebody who you could look to as a mentor. I have that one person in the club to look to as a mentor. How rare it would be to find a club where there are 5 to 8 people in that club that you would consider a mentor. That's what Smedley Chapter 1 Advanced does for me. There are 8 people in there that I could go to for a question that would advance my career.
Yes.
That's where you have a number and you understand, okay, you're right. One person in the club, that's wonderful. There's 8? Oh my gosh. What a embarrassment of riches, you know.
All of you are invited to Smedley Chapter 1 Advanced with President Fursey now, making a very warm invitation. Yeah, do come. You don't have to be a member, but we love to have you as a guest as well. Fursey is leading the team, and Mariana is always our advisor as well. So yes, Alicia, you just tuned in. Are you able to on your screen?
Yes, I can.
Oh, I'm so happy to have you. Yes. A few words from you, my lady. I know you're big on visual aids as well. So we just had a session. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm wearing the visual aids at the moment with my Buzz Lightyear jacket and Toy Story background. I guess there you go. There's how you can use the visual aids professionally and weirdly and strangely. But I think, you know, using visual aids, use them with purpose. Don't have a whole stack of visual aids and then become the magician. Use them with purpose, because I've seen many speakers have like 10. I saw one time about 5 years ago when we had some of these online contests, people were just pulling visual aids all out in front of us, and I was thinking, just talk. Sometimes you just need to talk, but visual aids can be good if used effectively.
Good. All right, we're going to take a final photo since Alicia just tuned in. Grab your favorite food. I want to see the brand of the chip you are eating. Fursey, is it a Thai brand or an American brand? I'm just curious. Everybody grab some food here. We'll take a very outrageous photo.
Another visual aid.
Before, no. Is that a Thai brand or what? Oh my God, yeah, that's all the
Is
Malaysian.
that Lay chips? Looks like
Yeah.
Lay chips.
Yes,
Yeah,
Lay's
but
from
with
Thailand.
Thai.
Yeah, bring your food here. Yeah, if you can contrast it. Yeah. 3. Bruno, you want to join us? It's fine. Otherwise, use yourself. 3.
He's driving. He's
2 and 1.
driving.
Hang on. I got to do this right again. That was just warming up. 3, 2 and 1. All right. Thank you, everyone. It's been a pleasure with all of you. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye, everyone. Thank you, Fursey.